Hey, what's up, Hilo News family? This show is brought to you by Baptist Health's Pine App. Healthcare at your fingertips with the Pine App. Head to HiloNewsMiami.com right now to learn more about their app and all the new features created to improve your healthcare experience with Baptist Health. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, what's up, Hilo News family? Welcome to another episode of Can We Talk, our show where we talk to dope people in the community doing dope things, and today is no different. I'm your host, Janae Tate, publisher and editor-in-chief of Hilo News, and today I'm so excited to have my next guest on. She's doing some really dope things in the fashion and the sexy sweatwear industry. That's the name of her company. So I just gave it away. So the surprise is gone, but she's doing some really cool things. And I want you to learn all about her entrepreneurial journey and the things that she has coming up. So without further ado, welcome to the show, Melisa. Hey, Melisa.
What's up, y'all? How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Yay. And it's Sexy Sweatwear. I just wanted to make sure I got the company name correct.
It's actually Sexy Sweats.
Sexy Sweats.
But when I was creating like my domain and the Instagram handle, Sexy Sweats wasn't available. So that can get a little confusing sometimes. So it's Sexy Sweats, but everything is Sexy Sweatswear.
Okay, so social media and everything. Yeah. Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure I got that down. I'm all about getting the correct name and everything out there. So Phil, if I say something wrong, no need, don't feel ashamed to stop me, because I want to make sure that the message that you want out there is the one that goes out there. So it's all good. Well, thank you again for joining me today on the show. I've heard a lot of great things about you. You have some really cool things going on with Sexy Sweats. And I want to learn, before we dig more into it, I want to know a little bit about, how and why you got started. Like, what was that aha moment for you?
Well, I decided to pick passion over profession. And I've always had an athletic background and I've always been into fashion, but I've never pursued that. When I was younger, coming from a Caribbean background, our family always instills, okay, you got to go with what's safe. And that's the medical field, law, so I never pursued my passion. And I've always had a very active fashion style. It was very swaggy with sneakers, but sexy. And I was just like, you know what? It would be so dope if I can create my own brand. But I had no idea how I was going to do it. And I had no experience in the industry, but everything aligned for me. And I made it happen 4 years ago.
Wow. Really? Because, I'm assuming, you're very gorgeous. You're beautiful. So my mind, when I met you, I'm like, oh, she was a model and she transitioned into fashion designer. So I'm just, that's what I was.
No, I just always knew how to sketch and I just always been into it. But like, I just never followed through with it, When I graduated school, I went into like my degree was into the medical field because that's what was safe. But my heart was always into fashion. And I was just like, one day I was like, man, life is too short. I got to try it out, see if I can do this for real. And it's happening, and it's a scary journey, but it's also very exciting.
That's amazing. And your designs are really dope. So I'm glad you took that leap of faith, Oh, you're welcome. For the people out there, listening and watching, tell us about your line and what people can expect when they buy Sexy Sweats. Like, tell us about the products and the merch and the materials that you use to create your designs.
Sexy Sweats is all about confidence. Every piece signifies like bold, sexy, vibrant. And every piece I wanted to represent my style and women just like me. And I wanted it for the ones who aren't scared to step out of their comfort zone. It's not limited to just the gym. You can wear it out and about anywhere, but it's just like when you see my piece, you're like, oh, I already know that's Sexy Sweats. And it's so funny because when people compliment me and they're like, oh, wow, your outfit is so sexy. And I was like, yeah, it's my brand called Sexy Sweats. So it's just like a staple and a statement,
Yeah, no, that's amazing. And right now everybody's into the athleisure. But to me, I feel like there aren't a lot of people of color in that space. Right. So for you, do you feel like any sort of like pressure or is it, tell me about like representation and diversity in this space of the fashion industry, and what you represent.
I think any field, there's always a lot of pressure, on ourselves because it's just like we have an idea and we want to get it to the next level. And sometimes we have no idea how that's going to happen. When I created this brand, athleisure was just getting into the market and it was just something that was getting big. So I had no idea that I was ahead of the game when I was. And while I was building the brand, everybody started doing their whole athleisure line. And I was like, oh wow, okay, I'm onto something because this is something that everybody else is doing. But what can I do to make my line different? So that's why I stuck to my guns and was just like, okay, everything has to be super sexy. I don't know if I kind of carried away and answered the question or
No, no, that was good. That was good. But also too, just as a Black woman, as a woman of Caribbean descent, like, do you feel like any responsibility or any pressure as being, someone who is showing inclusion in this industry? Or also too, you could speak to like what you being a Black woman in the fashion industry represents for other young girls who want to go and, following your footsteps.
Right. I think that I'm holding the torch, you know what I'm saying? And I'm the leader. And for all the girls that want to follow behind me, that they can see like it can be done, you know what I'm saying? Just follow your dreams and keep pushing and going harder. Like I don't think about it like, oh my gosh, there's so much pressure being in the fashion industry. I'm still learning as I go. So I really don't know how much pressure it is. You know what I'm saying? But of course, like my goals is to get to the next level and I want to be like this global brand. And I guess when I get there, I'll feel that type of pressure. But at the moment, what I'm saying, I'm just trying to reach for the stars.
That's what's up, and that's what you're doing. And as you were talking about your sweats, I was trying to pull up some pictures about from your business. So I want to share that really quick, and you could tell us like what we're looking at. I want to
Okay.
show the audience because sometimes I feel like it's cooler to have like a visual representation of like what's going on, but also too like what you're doing is just like really dope. So I wanted to kind of show people like an example of like your line. And to me, you spoke about your Caribbean heritage. Does that go into, or how much of that goes into like your inspiration for what you create? Because this gives me very, island vibe, these
Right.
tins,
The colors and everything. Yeah. So every collection, what I'm saying, like I try to step it up and I try to do something bigger and bolder than the previous collection. And so this is my latest collection. This bodysuit is called the Daniela. It's one of like my top sellers.
I love
And
it.
with this collection, I wanted to do everything like vibrant and bright. And yes, it definitely represents like the Caribbean and like just loud and fun and everything like a great time. I didn't really even think about it like that, but now that you mentioned that, like it all makes sense.
Oh, it definitely screams it. Like when I was looking at your designs before we had the interview, I was like, oh, this is giving me very much Caribbean influence. This is another one that I think is really cute as well. And I wanted to just show that to the audience. And wait, is this you as because that's
Yes,
you?
that's me.
Oh, so are you giving the girls fitness tips too? Because you're bodied.
Thank you. I mean, I try my best. I don't do as much fitness tips as I can, but I just try to balance it all out. But I'm just basically displaying how this is a lifestyle brand, like it's not necessarily only working out in the gym. You can go walk your dog on the park, and look fly as hell doing it.
Well, you have to give us the body tips to go with it because you're making me. As soon as I get off this interview, I gotta go do 50 crunches because
Okay,
you're
I'm gonna
serving.
work on it. I'm gonna work on it.
No, this is really dope, and I really really love like what you're doing in this
Thank
space.
you.
And to me, like some of your competitors, I feel like they're not giving these type of colors and this type of inspiration. So I think that's really dope. So I'm definitely your target demographic. Um, Here on Hello News, I like to talk to people about their upbringing and where they're from, just to bring that connection because we're all about hyper local. So tell me about like where you from, how you grew up, and how that influenced you as an entrepreneur.
I come from a Haitian background. I'm Haitian American, first generation. And my childhood, I was raised in Haiti. and I came here around 12. And I think that my different experiences in life have molded me to be who I am. Entrepreneurship growing up wasn't necessarily what was instilled in me. You
Mhm.
know, my parents definitely like motivated me, inspired me to be the best that I can be. But I think coming from this generation that we're in, you know, like society is basically instilling us like, okay, you know, follow your dreams, be, you know what I'm saying, go into the entrepreneurship journey. But I had no idea what I was getting myself into. You know, it
Mhm.
was just that I've always been a go-getter. I've always been very competitive, you know, so all those things and I'm extremely motivated, disciplined, so all those things are already instilled in me. So it just worked out when I took a leap of faith to go into this journey, that, you know, I was ready for it.
Yeah. And coming, I have Caribbean descent. I didn't grow up in the culture, but I always say if you look at these cheekbones, you know that there's some Haitian blood, some Bahamian
Right.
blood in me. But
And
also
your
too,
parents do not play,
yeah,
girl.
yeah, and just in Black parents in general, no matter where they're from in the African diaspora, like those principles that you said, they're instilled in us. So it's very interesting that a lot of times they try to shy us away from entrepreneurship, but those things that they instilled in us are the things that we need and make us, really great entrepreneurs. So I really thought that was interesting that you said that about your upbringing, because you said they didn't really encourage you to go in it, but they gave you the tools to be this boss that you are.
Exactly.
And Melisa, before you go, I want people to know how they can directly connect with you as well. Where can they learn about, the new pieces that you're dropping and just everything, Melisa, because you're dope. So how can they connect with you?
Girl. All right, so I need you guys to make sure you follow me at Sexy Sweatswear. You can shop all of our pieces on sexysweatswear.com. And if you want to get in touch with me, you can email me at sexysweatswear@gmail.com.
Definitely, guys. And also too, I want you to give, I always like to give people a shout out to where they're from. Where in South Florida are you originally from?
Well,
Or where did you, because you said you came here at 12. So where
yeah,
in South
in
Florida?
Miami. I'm a Miami girl, but I don't live in Miami now. So I'm not going to tell people where I live so they don't come looking for me.
Hey, I totally get that.
But, you know,
I
they
like
know where they can find me if they're looking for me. Yeah.
Okay, you rep Miami. I guess
Yes,
I
yes.
need to ask people, where do you rep in South Florida? So you rep Miami.
Right.
Got it. Got it. Look, it's all good. Melisa, you're now officially a friend of the show. When you have new pieces dropping, news going on, even if there's something going on in the fashion industry that you think we need to be knowing about, or you have the details on, please come back to High Low News and Can We Talk? I would love to have you again. You've been amazing. And thank you so much for sharing your entrepreneurial journey. I'm sure you've inspired some young girls out there who want to follow in your footsteps. And also, too, congratulations on all your success.
Thank you, girlie. This was so much fun. Thank you so
Yay!
much.
Thank you guys for watching another episode of Can We Talk? Go to highlowNewsMiami.com right now to follow us on social media and to sign up for our email newsletter. And of course, to get all the latest news dedicated to Black and Brown millennials in South Florida. This has been another amazing episode of our podcast, Can We Talk? Melisa, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Bye, bye,
Peace.
bye.